My name is Brianna. I'm 23 years old, and for all 23 years of my life, I lived like a servant inside my own house. Every morning, my alarm rang at 5 a.m. while other girls, my age, were still asleep. I was already on my knees scrubbing floors, cooking breakfast and washing dishes. Upstairs, my brother Brandon slept peacefully in his king-size bed. That's how our house worked. He rested, I served, and my parents told me something I believed for most of my life. Some children are born to be loved. Some are born to serve. You're the second kind. I never questioned it. Not until the day of my brother's wedding, when a man I had never met looked at my face and started shaking. Then he asked me a question that destroyed everything. Do you know who your real mother is? But before that moment, let me take you back. We lived in Fairfield County, Connecticut. From the outside, our house looked perfect. Big lawn, luxury cars, rich neighborhood. Inside, it was a prison. My room wasn't even a room. It was the basement, concrete floor, no windows, a thin mattress that smelled like mold, the furnace humming beside my head all night. That was my world, every day at 5 a.m. I went upstairs and cleaned the huge marble kitchen, cooked eggs and bacon, made coffee by 7. Gerald, Mr. Patterson, would sit at the table with his newspaper. He never looked at me. Is breakfast ready? Yes, sir. That was our entire relationship. Donna. Mrs. Patterson was the same, cold, distant. I wasn't allowed to call them Mum or Dad. I wasn't allowed to sit at the dining table. I ate leftovers beside the sink like a house pet. Meanwhile, Brandon lived like royalty. Private school, expensive clothes, BMW at 18, credit cards with no limits. Me. No school, no friends, no ID, no birth certificate. Donna once told me, your documents were lost. It's too complicated to replace them, so officially, I didn't exist. They even had rules taped to my basement door. Don't sit with the family. Don't leave the house. Don't talk to strangers. Don't call us parents. Break the rules. Get punished. And they meant it. When I was 7 and called Donna Mummy, Gerald beat my palms with a cane. When I tried running away at 16, police brought me back because I had no ID. Gerald locked me in the basement for 3 days without food. Then he whispered, without papers, you're nobody. No one will ever believe you. After that, I stopped trying. I accepted my fate. I told myself this was just who I was. Someone born to serve. Years passed like that until Brandon got engaged. Victoria Whitmore, beautiful, elegant, rich. Her father, Richard Whitmore, owned one of the biggest real estate companies in the state. This wedding wasn't just love, it was social climbing. Donna and Gerald were obsessed. They planned everything for months. For a second, I thought maybe I'd finally feel like family. Maybe I'd be a bridesmaid. Maybe I'd sit at the table instead. Donna handed me a black uniform and apron. You'll serve drinks, she said. Stay invisible. Invisible, story of my life. The rehearsal dinner was fancy. Champagne, crystal glasses, rich guests everywhere. I walked around with a tray. No one looked at me until one man did. Victoria's father, Richard Whitmore. He didn't just glance. He stared like he knew me. He came closer. What's your name? Brianna. Then he asked, Do you know who your birth mother is? I froze. I live with the Pattersons. His face went pale, like he'd seen a ghost. Then he walked away, making urgent phone calls. Donna watched him nervously for the first time. I saw fear in her eyes. Wedding day came. The Ritz-Carlton ballroom looked like a fairy tale. Flowers, chandeliers, 200 guests. I entered through the service door, carrying champagne. My own brother introduced me to his friends like this. That's our housekeeper, not sister. Housekeeper. Something inside me cracked, but I kept moving, kept serving, because that's what I'd always done. Then during family photos, the photographer asked, "Is she family?" Silence. Before anyone could answer, firmly said firmly, "Yes, she is." He pulled me beside him for the picture, put his hand on my shoulder. "This is where you belong." No one had ever said that to me before. After the photo, I heard him whisper, "Those eyes. It's her." Then he made another call. "Get the DNA kit." My heart stopped. DNA. Later, he asked me to talk privately on the terrace. He showed me an old photo, a young woman, holding a baby, same green eyes as mine. "This is my sister," he said. "Her baby was kidnapped from the hospital 23 years ago." Then he looked straight at me. "I think you're her." I couldn't breathe. He explained. "Everything cold case, FBI, missing child. And then, if I'm right, the people raising you stole you." Stole, not adopted, stolen. He asked for a DNA test. I said yes, because deep down, I already knew. 3 days later, we met at a cafe. He handed me an envelope. DNA. Match, 99.97%. I wasn't Brianna Patterson. I was Brianna Ashford. Whitmore, his niece, the kidnapped baby. My entire life had been a lie. The people who called themselves my parents had bought me like property. The FBI reopened the case. A week later, Richard invited the Pattersons to his estate. They thought it was a business meeting. It was a trap. Agents were waiting. DNA reports. Missing child files. No adoption records. Gerald and Donna started panicking. Then, the agents stepped forward. "You are under arrest for human trafficking and fraud." Handcuffs clicked. Donna cried. Gerald tried to run for the first time in my life. They looked small, powerless, scared. Donna begged me, "We're your family." I looked at her calmly. "You raised me like a servant, not a daughter," and I walked away. They went to prison. Gerald, 18 years. Donna, 12. The house was seized. Brandon lost everything. His wife divorced him. He even called me once asking for money. For the first time in my life, I said no. Then something beautiful happened. My real name was restored. My birth certificate, my identity. My uncle activated the trust my mother left for me. $12 million. But the money didn't matter. What mattered was this: I wasn't unwanted. My mother had loved me. She searched for me until she died. I wasn't born to serve. I was born to be loved. Today, I'm writing this from my dorm room at Yale. I'm studying psychology. I want to help survivors like me. Sometimes I still wake up at 5 a.m., but now I make coffee, open my books, and live my life on my own terms. For 23 years, I believed I was nothing. Now I know the truth. I was never the servant. I was the stolen daughter, and I finally came home. If this story touched you, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, if someone ever makes you feel invisible, it doesn't mean you're worthless. Sometimes, it means you were meant for something much bigger.